All right, good morning. We're over here in Louisville. About 15 miles southwest. That's probably not even southwest. It's it's southwest of the yard, but it's not quite 15 miles. It's 15 miles by road, 13 miles. But we're here to pick up a load of pipe. It looks kind of like fence pipe. It's all different types of diameters and stuff. I'm not sure exactly what they use it for. It's got blue caps and red caps and no caps, and I'm really not sure what they use it for. It's steel pipe. I'll show you. This guy comes. Got stuff like that on. I don't know what he's got underneath the tarp, but just a bunch of pipe. So I got all my dunnage laid out. 8 pieces they wanted. I got 4 stops. I got 2 stops in Ohio and not 2 stops. I got 1 stop in Erie, PA. Let's see. Dublin, Ohio, Mayfield, Ohio, Erie, PA, and then I final in Syracuse, New York. Then I go home. Pretty much gonna stay home until I can vote. I'd like to stay home on Tuesday for election day. But that's gonna be rough. I will be there to vote. I just don't. I'm thinking. I'm hoping I can possibly get a load on Sunday. Or not get a load on Sunday. Head up to Messina on Sunday. Grab a load first thing Monday morning. Come back down to the house. Go vote on Tuesday morning, and then take the load down to Pennsylvania. I don't know if I'll be able to get one of those loads from her. I'm gonna wait until after I get loaded, get my pre-calls in, and then I'll send her a message and see if I can get a load to Lancaster delivering on Tuesday. And then that's kind of my thought process right now. Also, I gotta get. This weekend I have some tire chains at the house that I'm going to clean up, get on the truck, and then this way I can go out to Colorado and California and stuff again. But that's just kind of my thought process at the moment. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get in here, get it loaded, and I'll show you guys what the load is when we're all done. All right, here's the load real quick. Stops are all mixed up. I'll show you guys the layout here in a minute. And then I got the tarps laid out here. I got two steel tarps laid out straight, and then I have one long ways to cover the big stack there. So I'll have them pick them up one at a time. This one first, then that, then this one, and then that one. And then we'll go outside and finish securing the tarp. here's our funky load all tarped up. It's not my favorite with the big barrier there, air dam, but it is what it is. We'll make it work. So I took the, like I showed before, I took this back tarp was on first as a standard 4-foot. I took another 4-foot and I turned it sideways and made it an 8-foot. And then regular 4-foot in the front. And it was, the thing that really sucks is the 4-foot in the back actually was only like 2 inches shy from covering the actual load. But I probably could have got away with that, but I'd rather have it covered and have no issues. I'll be pulling tarps off by the time I get to the second stop tomorrow. I think that oh, let's check real quick. All right, so here's our load. So these 6 right here, which is on the very back, that comes off on the first stop. And then this one and this one, the top 2, come off on the first stop also. And then I have the second stop, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bundles there in the red. And then only the purple will be on for the third stop. So by the time I get done with the, well, shoot, probably by the time I get done with the first stop, I could probably pull that. Well, the one tarp will be coming off. Well, we'll see what happens when we get over there tomorrow. I might end up just leaving what's on there. I mean, that back one's probably going to come off right away. And then, so the back tarp will probably come off right away. And then this tarp will probably come off on the second stop, which is the 8-footer. And then these 2 are being covered by that front tarp, so I really don't need, I mean, I might have to pull out one of my small tarps to lay on the back side of this. But I'm hoping to get all 3 of these stops off tomorrow, and then this last one on Friday. So that's it for now. I'm gonna call up my destinations now and give them a 24-hour notice that I'll be there. And yeah, so I'm gonna give it about an hour window for unload time, and then I'll figure it out from there. But it's pretty much gonna go. I should have no problem get the first 2 stops off tomorrow, and then get the second 2 stops off on Friday. Erie is going to be like right there, so I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Putting on your blue dress, your hair falls perfect on your shoulders. Notice how we both have gotten older. And I can see that lonely place, looking at your weary face. We used to laugh at everything, remember all the games we played. I remember them like they were yesterday. You used to be my Valentine, no, I'm not even sure you're mine. Why, baby, why? Why, baby, why? Just stop and wonder, we can't let this thing go under. Find a string of hope there somewhere, we don't have much time at hand. So first we have to understand why. So this is where we ended up at last. I know that we can never change the past. We had it all worked out, and something feels a little different now. Why, baby, why? Why, baby, why? Do you ever just stop and wonder? We can't let this thing go under. Find a string of hope there somewhere. We don't have much time at hand, so first we have to understand why. Just stop and wonder. We can't let this thing go under. Find a string of hope there somewhere. We don't have much time at hand, so first we have to understand why.
Alright, we got the first stop off. So those 5 bundles over there. And then here's our tarp job. Alright, we got that first stop off. I forgot what I was saying. It was a pain in the neck. So I had that big tarp. No, it wasn't a big tarp. It was a 4-foot drop steel tarp turned sideways. So I pulled the sideways tarp off. I rolled that one up. And then the other one, I completely pulled over top of the big one and sat it on the front 2 piles there. And then this way, when I was all done, I was able to just get up on top of the big stack there and yank it back over. So we're down to 2 tarps now. I'm actually gonna have the 2 tarps on until I get to Erie, because this next one, so I have 6 bundles left, as I showed in the beginning of the video when I got loaded. I had 6 bundles left, and well, I don't know how much I captured before, but we got that first stop off. We're at the second stop now, just waiting for this guy to finish moving, and then I just got to move over a little bit so they can get the load off of me. I already got the straps loosened and the bungees, most of the bungees off, other than like 3 or 4 of them, just to stop the tarp from being able to blow all over the place. Okay. The tarp job's gonna be fun when I'm done. Here's what I ended up doing with the tarp. We're at the 3rd stop now. Got one more after this. Most of this is coming off here. We're only gonna have 3 bundles left. I forgot to throw the straps. Before I started to throw the tarp on, and I was like, whatever, we got 90 miles to go, so I'll just throw the straps on here on top for now. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but both those tarps are coming off right now. I'm actually 50-50 on what I'm going to do. I'm contemplating on just pulling both the tarps off and then grabbing one of my smaller tarps out to cover up the 3 bundles. But I'm probably not going to end up doing that. I'll show you what I end up doing afterwards, or when I get stopped tonight. I don't, one way or the other. Alright, I'm a little annoyed. This is what I ended up doing. It's not that big of a deal. I just laid it on the ground and I pulled it back up there. But the wind is blowing so bad. I don't know if you can see it in the tree. Maybe a little bit. Regardless, it's freaking whipping. It's throwing my tarp all over the place, my straps all over the place. I'm highly agitated at this point. I mean, it is what it is. The stop took me the longest, mostly because of that freaking wind, but partially because this stop had the most stuff on it. So one thing I'm planning on doing here really soon, and it's something I've been researching a lot in the past few months. Bungees piss me off. Especially on a day like this where I'm getting frustrated with the wind blowing everything around and stuff. I'm going to be going to start using the shock cord. I shouldn't say that I'm going to start using it. I'm going to test it out and see how I like it. I like the idea of it, because if there's one thing that really pisses me off, it's a bunch of bungees getting tangled together and stuck on one another, which I won't get rid of my bungees that I have now. I got a good 70 bungees now. Possibly more than that. I won't be getting rid of those. So actually on a load like this, I would probably use them more than anything. But I do intend on getting the shock cord, a bunch of S hooks. Because that was my biggest. That's been my biggest dilemma, was the how to hook it to the trailer. And they have these little things that look like this, and it makes that U shape. So basically, you can hook it. But in order to install that, you have to screw it to the trailer. I really don't want to screw anything to the trailer. And that's pretty much your only option, is to use that thing for a permanent fixture on the trailer. But there was a guy that I just recently watched, and I will actually watch 2 of his videos, and I'll link his videos down in the description. But I realized the guy that he was learning from, the guy that did the video, he was learning from the guy doing in the video. He ran his shock cord through the tarp, connected it at the one end, which was another thing, which I'll show again here. He basically made a loop, stuck it through the hole, put it over the hook, and then pulled it down tight. And then he had a hook at the end of the shock cord. So I'm thinking you can put a little twist in that loop before you pull it down, which would probably lock it better. And then he had another one. It basically looked like a hook. It came down to like it kind of looked like an 8. It had 2 little loops. It wasn't quite connected in the middle though. Again, I'll show that picture here. I could buy those 2 different types of hooks to hook the end. And then as he worked his way down down back to the end of the tarp, he was pulling it down and using an S hook and hooking it right to the rub rail. And then he pulled down the slack and do it again. And then once he got to the end, he was able to use one of those 2 hooks. So I'm going to try it out that way. I think that looks to be the best way to go with it. So that's something I'm going to be trying out here soon. Now I got to jump this curb. All right, so we got 240 miles to get over to Syracuse, and we'll get this load finished up in the morning and go home. And I'm pretty much taking a 4-day weekend because I've been gone for a month now. A lot longer than I have in a long time. Last time I stayed out this long, I stayed out 5 weeks. And that's back when I started with TMC and they made me go through training. Mostly because I never drove a truck with a hood on it before and that narrow cab, and it screwed up my backing and I didn't have any time to practice. Like, here, drive a truck you never drove before. Oh no, you can't back that up. Okay, you got to go out for training. It was ridiculous. The guy that did the instruction over there was a hard-headed idiot. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so we'll see you guys in the morning. Look at that sky. Sun beating right on them rain clouds. Anyway, not trying to make you guys dizzy, but we're at the final delivery. I'm gonna get this tarp off, hold it up, and I got 3 bundles to pull off. I'm gonna throw my boards up there with the rest of those boards, and I'm hightailing it home for a 4-day weekend. Not coming back out till, well, Tuesday night most likely, but Wednesday's when I'm actually gonna be looking for a load. I'm kind of hoping that I can get a Messina to Lancaster, because those pay pretty good, and that would pay my truck payment right off the bat. So anyway, I'm not going to bother anymore with this load here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.